Red means go and green means change. Oh,
Keep going,
hello,
James.
Jess.
I want to hear your voice, James. I want to promote Driver Roulette and all of your singles that have
Oh, really?
they're like
You
number
can
one
follow
on
me
my
on
list.
Spotify. You can follow me on YouTube.
What's your name?
Amory Beach.
That's
AMORYBEECH.
and
Amory Beach.
for those that are listening, James is an award-winning artist in Australia. He's won my heart.
Oh, Jess. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Are you going to tell the viewers that you'll be joining me for a duet on my
100%.
debut album, Kumquat Dreams,
I
out
love
in
it.
December this year? We're ready for Sagittarius season. Gonna have a little launch party. Hopefully, we'll be out of COVID. If not, it'll just be an online party.
Yes.
Woo!
Great.
So how's your week been, Jess?
Well, for people that want to know, and I know that there's a large majority of you, keen to know about my weekly updates, but I got my
Yeah.
second dose of the COVID vaccine this morning.
Which one did you get, Jess?
I got AstraZeneca.
Ooh, AZ.
Basically,
You're an AZ.
I can lift my arm. Look, where the first dose I couldn't lift my arm.
Ooh,
So
well
I'm
done.
running a bit of a temperature, but just it's manageable.
That's normal.
The first
You
one,
got
it
the
wasn't
virus now.
manageable. Nah, the first one wasn't manageable. I was literally
Okay.
dying. And I was like in the middle of the night, I was like really cold, really hot. And now I'm just like partially hot, which is okay.
I'm fully vaxxed as well. I got the Pfizer.
There you go. How do you feel? Do you feel like Captain America?
I just had to keep having a lot of water. I got like a little bit of tightness in my chest, which they're like, that's not good. But then I was just like, have some water, you'll be fine. So I had some water and it went away, which
Best
is
thing you can
good.
do.
So stay hydrated.
Will
People,
do.
that's all they say to us all the time. Upon waking up in the morning, have 2 glasses of water. Before going to sleep, have 2 glasses of water. Best thing you can do for yourself, scientifically proven.
It's amazing how much like water is necessary. Like our bodies are made up of like 70% of it. You have to constantly be keep drinking
100%.
in order to make sure your skin and your organs are functioning correct. It's actually quite interesting how water is so bloody essential. Tasteless
It is
water.
essential. It's essential. It's an essential worker, and you've got to make sure he's there on site every day.
It's very bloody true.
So, Jess, do you want to introduce our topic?
No, I want to know about your week. What did you do? How did you do it?
So my week this week. Okay. So, guys, pretty big news in James's world of James and Jess's half hour. I've met someone. Haven't met them in real life, just been talking to them. And so far, so good.
Oh, that's so good.
That's all I'm going to reveal. That's all I'm going to reveal. That's the little teaser. Just
Let's
having
name him Bob.
good jolly time of
solid.
talking via a dating app, and thought they were a catfish. Turns out they're not a catfish, which, can happen sometimes. Sometimes you have those doubts. Sometimes you have those little bumpy roads. Turns out that they were okay with me thinking they were a catfish. I was like, this is too good to be true. But that's very much a Capricorn kind of thing, trying to dismantle reality because you think it's too good.
Yeah. And James is a Capricorn, but he has many stars in his chart.
Yeah.
And you
but
should
mostly
like
just earth and air signs.
Yeah. You should mention the most important thing that you said, like the flow of it all, how you weren't searching for it, and it literally came to your doorstep and you're like, yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, I should talk about that. So yeah, that's a good point. So basically I'm normally the one actively seeking out, trying to find, it's like, where's my lover? Where's my thing? Blah, blah. So the last few weeks I've just been really stopping that. Just
You
telling
deleted all
myself,
the apps,
no, you
didn't
don't.
you? You deleted all
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Deleted them all, whatnot. And then my credit card automatically subscribed me back to, because I didn't cancel my credit card just. So I deleted it, but I didn't cancel it. So then I downloaded it again because I was like, oh, if I can pay the money, I was going to unsubscribe. And then I went to unsubscribe, to cancel the subscription and to delete it forever. And bing, I get a like. And I was just like, oh, okay. It's like, who's this chap? So I'm looking at it. I'm just like, ooh, okay, interesting. So I was just like, swiped. I was like, whatever, you're in the flow. I'm like, nothing's going to happen with this. Nothing's going to happen. Then at 11:11 p.m., I get a message. And I was just like, my life, viewers might not know this, but my life path is 11. So my digits of my birthday, 16th of the 1st, 1992, adds up to 29, and 29, 2 plus 9 equals 11. So my life path number is 11. There you go. Bingo. So 11:11, get a message from this chap. And yeah, I read a lot into it, and he's into symbolism and meanings and all that kind of thing, spirituality and all that kind of stuff. And when you just like have that little click in your head and you're just like, wait a second, maybe everything that's happened, all the shit and everything, maybe it's just like led to this moment. And right at this moment, all I feel is peace.
Oh my God, that's
And
exactly it, though.
security and comfort, and have someone who, when I have a little freak out thinking they're a catfish, laughs about it and says that that's okay. Yeah.
I would love to
So
be like to marry you both. Like, I'll become ordained for this. I don't
sweet. You
mind.
can be the thing.
I will get
Yeah.
a certificate.
Yeah, you can put it. Yeah, you can be the person.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
Actually,
yeah.
I'd love your mum to
So-
do it. That would be great.
Yeah. So my mom, I normally never tell my mom about like dating stuff. I kind of leave her out of it. And she's like, what's going on with your love life? I was like,
It's her favorite line. She loves that line.
I know. And I was just like, actually, I'm gonna tell her. Like, I normally don't tell her. And I was like, no, I'm gonna give her something. I was like, hey, mom, I matched with this person. We're gonna see what happens. And the biggest thing that I liked about it as well was, I think I sent you the message as well on WhatsApp.
You did.
Of what they said to me. And it's just like, obviously there's some distance between us. We're not from the same state in Australia. So international viewers, what is there? Is there 6 states and 2 territories, or 7 states and 2 territories? 7 states and 2 territories?
Yeah. I think it's 7.
7 states and 2 territories. So he's from the next state up, and quite a distance. Obviously, Australia is pretty huge, quite a distance between us. And I just kind of like, let's just see what happens. And I believe that sometimes we can get carried away and whatnot. I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collected. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But,
it's so important. Like, I know a couple of people that are divorced, for example, and you notice how much, look, you don't know whether something's going to be a success or not. The whole point is part of the journey. You don't know. But a lot of people, not all, always and I've been like subject to this too, where you want to believe the fantasy in your head more than the reality of everything. And you lose.
That's been my past, Jess.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
lose hindsight.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is like what you were saying is so true. It's like this week I've had like that, but also I've had other stuff going on in propelling like my career, my future. I've had job interviews, trying for new jobs, going for new jobs, figuring out what I want to do long term, where I want to be, what I want to be doing, I've been working on my website, been working on my music, been doing other stuff. So it's like so important to what you said. Like you've got to be keeping your focus, like not putting all your eggs in one basket. You
Yeah.
got to be doing you, and yeah, just
I
the
think
balance of it all. We
90%
always go
of
down
it,
to the balance.
yeah, it's literally that self-care you have for yourself, and everything is like an extension. So that partner, anyone's partner should be an extension of you. And it's quite interesting because I've fallen for this as well, where you just are just like, why aren't you doing this? You're doing, it's something basic and you're not even doing that. We've all done that. And it's when you just leave it be, the universe kind of like gives you the signs and you're just like, oh, okay. And it's hard to figure out whether it's not now or later, or this person's not right for me, period. But I think deep down, it depends how much you want to ignore. But I guess time will tell.
I think deep down as well.
Yeah.
Don't force it.
Don't force it. Let the water flow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you want to introduce our topic?
Ooh la la. Oh, yes.
Speaking of water.
Speaking of water, James, imagine water all over you, yeah? And you're like on an island and you're just like, okay. So you wake up on the beach like this, right? You have your hand and you're just like, oh my God, like what's happened? I was in a plane and now I'm like on bare land and I'm in this suit. Why am I on an island? And you have to bring two
That's
things.
funny.
Let's say that you're going to crash and you have two things to bring. Go. What would you bring?
So, Jessica, I had a feeling that you were going to make this like the episode of Lost. So we're on this jet plane.
It's funny because I remembered Lost
and
Jack was in the suit.
And it crashes. And people have died and whatnot. But it's just about me and the two items that I'm bringing to the island, and it's going to be the show. Like the show is going to be about these two items that I bring. So I thought about this. I've been asking my colleagues about this, been asking my friends about this. So general, practical, logical people have been saying the most important thing that I bring is a machete to cut coconuts, to cut trees, to create a shelter, because one of the most important things is protection from the elements. So we need a sword to be able to, catch things, chop down wood. It serves multiple purposes as well as protection. If something was to come along to protect us from the animal or the predator. So I thought that one was a good kind of thought and an idea from a lot of my colleagues at work. I'm like, very practical, very resourceful. We totally understand where you're coming from, to cut those coconuts down, chop them in half, and just have, is that Malibu's?
Yeah.
Is that Malibu? The green stuff? No, Maduri.
Maduri. Oh, I thought you meant actual rum, like the rum, yeah?
No. Is it like?
Oh, you bring what you want. If you want Maduri. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, so I was like thinking about it, and I was like, oh, what a good idea. So I was thinking like a cocktail, because we're gonna have coconuts, because we're on like the Lost Island, and the Lost Island was Hawaii, and they had lots of coconuts. So I was thinking maybe we should just have a machete and some type of liquor, but maybe a drum of it, so like a 100-liter drum or something bigger than that, to last quite a while, and then you just put it in the coconut, and then we just have a good time. And coconuts and the machete, we can catch some fish, chop them up in the water. Figure out how to start fire by scraping it with some dry wood. But another common thing from my colleagues was flint. So being able to have fire, because that's pretty important in terms of cooking, in terms of being able to boil water, to be able to survive. Fire's been closely tied to ancient civilizations for as long as we know. So that was another really common thing people said. Another one was water. So to bring your own water and to have access to water is so integral. Like we were saying before, water, 2 glasses at the start of the day, 2 glasses at the end of the day can help minimize your risk of heart problems and heart complications, as well as stroke, which has been studied and documented. Just decrease, doesn't stop. Just that's the little disclaimer there. So that was some ideas from some of the people. Me personally, I was thinking, what 2 food items would I want? So I was thinking maybe a slushy machine and maybe lemon margaritas in the slushy machine. And then obviously I can sip them, then get the water, and then have the water from the ice, because you know how they have ice in those machines. So endless supply of margarita mix and a slushy machine. That was one of my 2 items I was thinking, and I would be able to get by.
I like it.
Another idea I had was maybe I should stop having to be so hard on myself and just invite 2 friends and say bring 2 things with each of them. So we get 4 things, and leave it up to say
Okay.
you and Bonnie, or you and Alex, or you and John. Like, just give it to the control of someone else, or Victoria and Andrew. Just give it up to someone else to come up with the what we're going to be left with. But at least there's 3 of us, so we can have some conversation, some fun. And you've both brought 4 things, which beats my 2.
I like it. Oh, so you're under the presumption that we're not by ourselves. Okay. I like this.
Oh, I was just like, you said I could bring 2 things. So I was like, why not 2 people? And just say, you bring 2 things.
You do what you want. I'm just going to get pissed. Yeah, I like it.
How about you, Jess? Have you thought about this?
I have a couple of scenarios, but if we were to go with something completely ridiculous, let's say I did not know that I was going to crash, right? And we're in an alternate universe where this is possible. I'd bring a boat to get my ass out of there. If I knew I was going to crash, I'd be like, I'm going to arrange for the pirates to bring me a boat, or the government, like the Marines, to bring me a boat. And something completely, something else would be Harry Potter's wand. So I can summon fire. I'll be like, what's scary on this island? I'm going to summon, actually, I wouldn't summon that. I'll be like, just keep it away. Like a barrier, like Hermione Granger, she puts that barrier around like Ron and Harry, so no one can see them. And then I would shoot like fireworks or whatever in the sky when I'm done getting pissed with you. Be like, oh, it's time to go home now. That's nice. If my boat wasn't working though. That's the stupid stuff, I would say. Harry Potter's wand. Actually, we wouldn't want Harry Potter's wand because it wouldn't be summoned to me, the wand, right? So I would want Jessica's wand. So Jessica's wand and a boat. And then I can drink your alcohol. And we leave Andrew, Victoria, everyone else to do the practical stuff, yeah?
Yeah. Sounds good.
And we can still do the podcast because I have my wand. I summon like a computer.
That's actually a really good one because the wand can keep on giving.
Yeah. And it never stops. It better not bloody stop. Can you imagine if it breaks? I'll be like, no.
I know, someone just snaps it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
that's actually a really good one. I didn't even
Harry
think
Potter
about that.
It was because of Katie. Katie was talking about Harry Potter, and then I started to watch Harry Potter, or I finished Harry Potter or something like that. And that's been in my head for a couple of weeks now. So thanks, Katie. I owe that to you.
Nice.
Now, practical. I would say I was leaning more towards definitely water. Let's say, no, if you're bringing the, so what were your practicals again? You're bringing water.
fire and water, wasn't it? What I discussed, yeah.
I would bring,
Well, fire in terms of flint, like to start a fire.
like a survival guide, like one of those big ass books that we can read in the daytime as to how to survive in the wilderness or in an island.
Another one I had was Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
Just bring him.
Just
to,
bring
like,
him.
help us survive.
Yeah. What do we do?
Yeah.
I can bring him on the
but
island
yeah, a
with my wand.
survival book.
Yeah. A survival book. So my original ones were water and a knife, but I guess a machete would be better. But I would go a survival guide. Ooh. And extra clothing. Because if
extra
I
cold.
think so. Because if we're leaving Andrew and Victoria to do all the work here, and I'm drinking your alcohol, or well, your practical stuff, yeah. I would bring extra clothing because I don't want to get sick. It's extra clothing or a first aid kit. God damn.
Ooh,
That is
I think
tough.
a first aid kit for the hangover.
Yeah, we'll ditch the manual. We'll figure it out day by day, all right? A first aid kit and an extra thing of clothing.
Yeah. Sorted.
Yeah.
maybe not an extra pair of clothing, maybe like a suitcase full of clothing for me and my comrades on the beach.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh God. Can you imagine? I think you'd be shitting bricks for like a couple of weeks and then you're just like, you know what?
I think you wouldn't have the chance to really, because you'd be like, shit, I just need to survive.
It's true.
I think that hunger sets in.
Oh, that's all right. I'll just
in.
eat you, James. All right. I'll take your little machete and hunt your ass down and you'll be like, no. I'm a very hungry person, James. A very hungry person.
I'm not gonna last long. Maybe you should take someone.
I'll be like, I'll give you the look. I'll be like, and that's when you know I'm coming for one of your limbs.
Oh, Jessica, talking about cannibalism on our show. How beautiful.
100%, man. Like,
I'm a meat eater.
I wonder how you get to a point where you just like, you can survive on water. I don't know. I'll get really hangry. Yeah, and if I can't catch the fish, like that's it.
Have a little meltdown.
Yeah. These fucking fish.
I'm just gonna eat you now, James.
And James is just getting pissed. He won't know if he just loses a limb.
How did this happen, Jess?
Don't know. It was Victoria and Andrew.
Plotting everyone against each other.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I haven't watched Survivor in a long time. That's still kicking about, yeah?
Yeah, Survivor.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite person from Survivor?
Jeez Louise, I cannot even like think that far back. I just remember like the tribunal or whatever, where they have like the paper. Council. Yeah, the tribal council, and they're all just like, I'm voting for this person because they're manipulative.
I'm voting for Jess.
She wants to eat me.
She is the biggest threat. She wants to eat people. Let's fight her out before she can.
Nice. So mine only like a couple of movies.
Remember the episode? I can't remember what season it was, but they went up to the girl and they were like, "We're going to be voting you out," and she was not impressed. So she went to the rice. She grabbed the rice, started pouring it out.
I love that.
And they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" And she's like, "Get stuffed," like blah blah. She didn't say get stuffed, but she was just like smiling and everything. I'm like, well, they told you we're going home, but you're definitely going home now. But she didn't care. She's like, you're gonna starve.
Yeah, you suffer, you pieces of shit.
I
Oh,
was
I
like,
love
if
the
that's the
bickering.
most, yeah, if that's not the most like, what's the word, childish kind of thing. It's like, stuff here, I'll show you. It's like, you're gonna have no food now.
Yeah.
You're gonna just pour it into the sand, and she just poured it in the sand, and then they were trying to go through the sand to pick out the ice cream.
Can you imagine the reunion when they're all like over it, the winner is crowned, whatever, and they're just like, so what happened? And she's like, it was like a moment of weakness.
Yeah. A moment of anger.
Yeah.
Where I just lost my shit. I was so red and was like, stuff you guys. Yeah.
Oh God. I remember once they were plotting, like the plotting's always good. And like it was some gay guy or something like that. It was just so funny. And he was just trying to like, oh God, yeah, but that's like every season. There's always one dominating alpha male or alpha female. And then you get the followers, and then you get the silent ones like Big Brother. It's always the silent ones.
Yeah. You got to be silent.
You have to be
Keep them
silent.
on their toes.
And they're just like, who is this
I
person?
think though, like the biggest thing as well with Survivor is it's like knowing the right things to say and the wrong things to say to people. It's like you don't want to be talking about stuff if you don't need to be talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like people tell you stuff, but it's also about you not telling other people about the stuff, but still talking, but not talking to raise suspicion. So not giving them enough.
It's
but also
always the guy
not talking too much.
that hunts for like the animals or whatever, like the meat. Like they'll go and hunt and not talk to anyone about anything. They'll always be out just doing something. Those are the people. It's kind of like in Squid Game, that the smart one. And then you're just like,
Yeah. I think it's like, yeah, key is not to talk too much, which I would be bad at. I'd be like, oh, what's the name? Tell me.
I think
Like,
me and you
go.
would literally be like, I think I figured out life. Like, I think it's kind of like, we'd get to this realization. We'd be like, look at the stars out tonight. Like,
going a bit crazy, a bit fruitful. They're like, oh God.
Yeah.
But also one of the people who won the game and played the most social game, I think was, his last name was Cochran, and he was had glasses and whatnot. Can't remember what season he was on, but he played a very social game. And when it came down to like winning the the idol necklace, I think he won a few towards the end that kept him in. But he played a very, very, very social game, which I thought was very surprising. For a winner to play such a social game, because usually people who play too much, like most people play too much of a social game, which ends up getting them out. So it's like being able to talk enough, but not too much. Because usually you don't win if you talk too much.
Miss all those like shows. Survivor. What's the one where you go around the world with like a partner?
The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
Do you
That shit
reckon we would
always
win
goes
that?
down. Huh?
Do you
Yeah.
reckon we'd win that?
You're like,
Or do
James,
you reckon
what are you
we'd just be
doing?
yelling?
Shut up, Jess. I think we'd be the life of the party if me and you did it.
I think we would just be screaming at each other.
Yeah. You're like, I'm hungry, all right. You already ate, Jess. Yeah.
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 Classic. You're like, I just want to have a croissant. We're in Paris. Like, I want to win $1 million.
It's like that scene in Lord of the Rings where Sam, so Frodo's best friend, is like, I had breakfast, but I want second breakfast, or like second lunch or something like that. Second breakfast. Yeah, I'd be that person. I'll be like, I had breakfast, but I want second breakfast. And now I want like brunch. Like,
you totally would be that person.
Really be that person. No doubt about it.
No shame.
No shame.
No shame.
And I can see myself like quitting whatever job I'm doing just to do this. Just like,
as a midlife crisis or
Bye.
something, I'll be like,
I'm on the Amazing Race. I made
bye.
it.
What are you doing with your life?
Would you ever play Survivor, Jess?
No, I don't think I would, because I think I'd just be hungry all the time and piss everyone off.
I would really love to see you on that game.
I
But
think
then
I'd be
again,
able
I'm
to
like,
do
you
it.
couldn't.
I think
I
I'd
don't
be
think you
able.
would be able. I don't think you would be able to do it just because, like, everyone loses a shit ton of weight on that. You would
Where's
just be
Jess?
skin and bones.
I'd have to like turn like this way. If I turn to the side,
And I can just imagine you for the food reward just being like, "Oh my money! I want that freaking burger, and if anyone tries to get it, I will kill you."
Yeah, I can see that actually. Yeah.
For the like Hungry Jack's Whopper meal, you're like, "I want it. If anyone goes there, I will kill you right here, right now." And I'm like, "Oh, Jess."
I'd actually eat the bugs too. I'll eat all the bugs. I'd do all your challenges. I'd push people. Nah, I don't think I'd play dirty, but when I'm hungry, I don't know what I'm capable of. So
I think you would if you were hungry.
yeah, if I'm gonna eat you, sure. Why would I give a damn about other people?
Oh God,
Did you do it?
Yeah, that is the thing. Would I do Survivor?
Yeah.
I actually started the application process, but didn't go through.
How big is it?
Quite big. And then I thought in the end, I was just like, I don't think I'm physically capable of doing all those challenges because they're quite physically demanding. And then also you're only eating rice and beans for, quite an extensive, depending how long you stay on the island, as well as like your energy being exposed to the elements as well. It's very physically demanding and mentally demanding. And then I was just like, I don't know whether I would have, because you can see them. It's like a lot of times you're like wanting someone to do really well in the challenge, and you can just tell that like they just don't have the energy. Like they just don't have the energy. They're like, I'm out. Like they knew like it was going to be a big price, but they're just like, I can't do it.
I'd do the Amazing Race. Do that.
I know, but they have to eat a lot of like meat and like disgusting things. So I don't think I could do that. I think I'd just be like, let's take the time penalty right now and we'll see. I think it's like an hour and a half, but I think often you just have to get to the pit stop as quickly as you can and then they put a penalty.
Interesting.
So I'd just be like to you, let's just quickly get there, skip this one, and then just pay the penalty for it.
I wonder how that would work with COVID now. Like, I wonder if
I don't know.
That. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
crack. Oh, wow. Half an hour already, Jess.
I like this episode. I like it a lot.
That's good. Well, thanks so much to our listeners. And let us know what you'd like to hear next. Bye.
Yeah, we had a bit of a few people message like on Instagram and email us about what they would do. And it's actually quite interesting. Katie said that she'd have music and something else I can't remember, which I was like, oh, music, that will actually pass the time quite well. Yeah. I think the real question is if you were stranded on an island, you had to bring 3 people, who would those 3 people be? That would have been another one.
Who would you have brought? Me, obviously.
You, Jackie. You, Jackie. Now I have to think of people. Yeah, Katie, why not? She can bring the beats.
Yeah. You got the margaritas.
Yeah.
You got the beef. And I think Jackie would be pretty practical. She'd be like, okay, we've got the beats, we've got the party. What are we going to be eating?
Yeah. And I think Alex would be quite good. You know why? Alex as well, because he's actually taking care of his body and his physical health. So he'd actually be able to guide us and tell us what to do.
It's like, let's hike up this mountain. We'll be able to do this.
We're like, I'm sorry. I'm hungry. Who would you bring?
Good question. Maybe if they want to, my new friend who
I
I've
knew
been talking to, maybe they would have good survival instincts based on their culture and their background. Who else? You and probably John.
Oh my God,
SES,
John.
State Emergency
Yes.
Services. Think that's a pretty good person to bring on board. Also, Bonnie would know a lot about botanicals and what we could eat and what we couldn't eat.
True.
Who else do I know in their skills? Jackie would be a source of entertainment and her hungriness.
You'd be like, everyone, get up. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Alex would be obviously good in terms of like morale and just like being like, come on, we're going for a run, like, you know, lift your spirits kind of thing. I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah, who else do we know? Oh, you're true.
My sister would be, what should she help us with? Should be a good source of conversation. I can't think of like practical though.
Andrew can actually build us a house.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Andrew would be very resourceful. I think if I had to choose like family, I'd probably choose Andrew.
I'd bring your mum.
Just in terms of resourcefulness. Mum would be the life of the party though. It's
And
like
Rick.
maybe we're not getting out of here, but we're going to have a good time.
Don't worry, people. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you have to do. Join us next week.
Yes.
Amory Beach, check it out. He's a star.
Yes. Check me out. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.